Alright Blues, it's Stephen here on BlueMoonRisingTV and I'm sat in our little office. I'm going to discuss a few points. Just going from a webcam today, going to keep it pretty simple. But I want to say one thing after that Arsenal game. Yes, we lost 3-2, but it is just a friendly. Relax, do not worry. I am not concerned and you shouldn't be. Friendlies are that. They are the clues in the word. They are friendlies and they are designed to test where we are at this stage of the season. It's all about preparation. It's about making mistakes and learning from them. And there should be no weight put on these games. If anything, winning too many games in a pre-season is a bad thing because it tends to mask deficiencies in the squad. It tends to mask things that maybe would go amiss by far too much positivity. So making mistakes, in my opinion, is a good thing. Cast your mind back to last season. In pre-season, we got battered by Stuttgart. They shipped loads of goals and we were absolutely shambolic. Then we won the next 5 games in a row. Okay, it fell apart after that, but that was not because of that game. That was because they took the eye off the ball. But even then, years ago, 2011 Community Shield, we got beat 3-2 by United. The doom and gloom was evident everywhere. Everyone thought they were going to win the league and run away with it after they ripped us apart. But we won the league. Aguero at 93-20 happened, and the rest was history. So this is what pre-season's all about. It's about learning where we are. It's about learning from mistakes. It's about learning what we need to change ahead of the season. And now we've got a whole list of points, and I'm sure Guardiola too has the same thing of things that we need to assess and we need to work on. And obviously, it's probably going to start with the centre-back pairing. We were all surprised to see Fernando and Kolarov at centre-back. That was obviously a crazy experiment, and unsurprisingly, it didn't work. It looked a little bit shambolic. It looked like the players didn't know what they were doing there. But then again, if you put a relatively technically limited defensive midfielder there and a left back who has maybe technical problems too, they're not going to be able to be ball playing centre backs, and that proved to be the case. There was obviously some question marks about the defence in general because Otamendi apparently has picked up an injury. Mangala, along with Boney and Nasri, just wasn't there. He's obviously not favoured by Pep, and that's a shame because he's a likeable bloke, but it looks like his days at City might be numbered there because he just wasn't in the travelling party. And obviously then that only led to Denayer and Adebayo being our backup centre-halves, and neither of them were really significantly involved. Only Adebayo towards the end, which is interesting. I'm surprised he chose those two as centre-back, if I'm being honest. I don't see them being the future centre-back pairing. Obviously, if they start at Sunderland, there will be problems, but I'm sure Pep now has probably learned that this isn't going to work. Maybe it was a message to the board. Maybe it was saying, look, I'm playing Kolarov at centre-back, go and get me John Stones. And I'm sure if that was the message Pep, it's probably come through loud and clear in the boardroom. But yeah, don't worry. Be calm. Now, this is what it's all about. I'm not worried and you shouldn't be too. There was still some positives. I thought Delph was excellent. He was a real leader in the centre midfield, technical, creative, very vocal. He seems to be everywhere and he seems already to have gone up a level under Guardiola in the first 5 weeks that he's been training with him. Now imagine in a year's time, he's going to be one of the biggest beneficiaries. There were some great crosses from Sterling and Navas, two very maligned players, and they settled Kelechi and Aguero perfectly. Aguero looked bright as too. He looked like, and to be honest, the team looked bright. I thought the team actually played really well in terms of their commitment and their energy. There was no questions about their ethic. They all obviously want to play in Guardiola's kind of style. They all obviously want to really kind of commit to that really intense high-pressing game. And there was signs of that as well, especially in the first half when the team was really leading from the front. There was none of that static forward line movement. We had Aguero and Silva really pushing. Sterling too. Nolito was doing it as well. And that was encouraging. It isn't a smooth machine yet. It isn't. It takes time to be able to play one of the most precise, intricate game styles around in football. Guardiola demands near perfection, and perfection does not come over the course of 5 weeks. It comes over the course of a lot of training, vast amounts of teamwork, vast amounts of meticulous sessions on the training pitch, and that will happen in due course. But for now, we need to be realistic about where we are as a team. I am not worried. I think we've got a manager who will rectify mistakes and who will really focus in. And then just look at the positives. Look at what we've got. We've got a very we've had signed some good players. Some of the players haven't even played yet. Sane, Gundogan, they've not even been involved at all. We've barely seen Joe Hart in pre-season. We've barely seen Sterling, really. We've barely seen Kevin De Bruyne. That was his first run out. Nolito and Silva, they've only had a couple of games. Not really seen Sandy at all. Zabaleta, Aguero, these have only had a couple of games at most each. They've barely been involved, and that is no time to assess them. So let's reassess it a week from now after the Sunderland game. I'm sure we'll see a team that is full of endeavour. I'm sure we'll see a team that is really focused and a team that's a lot more clued up and a lot more organised because they've got a week now to go back to the CFA, really dig their heels in and really get involved in terms of the plan for the game. And I'm sure they'll do that. And I reckon we'll see a completely different mentality. I think we'll see an organised team and one that's probably going to win against Sunderland. I'm feeling confident, and no nifty, eagerly 3-2 loss is going to convince me otherwise, Blues. And you should feel the same too, because this is a good time to be a City fan. Yes, there are question marks about our defence, but it will be sorted. I'm absolutely certain. Blues, what did you make of the game? Are you feeling as maybe naively optimistic as I am? I think we should be optimistic because I think we've got a lot going in front of us, and I think this is going to be a very good season. But yeah, get in the comments below, Blues. What did you make of the game? Who stood out for you? What do we need to prove on? Drop a like on the video, subscribe, and we will see you soon.